Right, welcome back. And this week we have, I'd say, hobby royalty for the UK. He's one of those that you quietly go around, but you're always everywhere, I think it's fair to say. So we've got Gus, and he also has the best hello mate ever. It's one thing, whenever at a card show, you're a bit flustered and you hear that, everything's just like, it's like a bit of a vocal look at it.
Very kind, very kind. No, a pleasure to be on. I would definitely not describe myself as that, but I've been around a fair bit, that's for sure.
I don't know if you remember, you were one of our first custom stands.
For sure, I was. I've still got them. Oh God, I must have them here somewhere. Yeah, I think I've still got them here.
Yeah.
Literally, I was like one of the first. Yeah, God, that was ages ago.
I remember it coming through. It was the most complex one I've done at the time. My heart just dropped. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And then, yeah, there we go.
It came out great.
Yeah. So yeah, we're obviously bringing you on. You've a bit of a veteran on the national front, and it's coming up in a couple of weeks. We're getting asked a lot of questions about it, so we thought we'd best bring in the specialist.
I wouldn't go that far either, but there's definitely a couple of bits that I've learned over the last couple of nationals. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's the best way to learn, innit? Experience. You learn by your mistakes, all that sort of stuff.
For sure.
So first of all, do you want to introduce yourself?
So I'm Gus, or my handle on Instagram, eBay, whatnot, wherever else you can find me is Grails by Gus. I've been in the hobby kind of since like 2018, 2019. Try and vend at as many shows as I can, and fortunately got the chance to vend at the upcoming national and the International Pavilion. So super excited for that, and hopefully see a lot of you guys out there.
Yeah, that's huge, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's something you never think you'll ever achieve. It's a goal that you set out at the start of, or it was for me when I started dealing and vending at like the really early London card shows. It's not something you ever think you'd ever get the access or the chance to. So having been invited by the International Pavilion, it's just a once in a lifetime thing that super, super grateful for Luke and everyone who's organized that.
How's the prep going for it? Have you changed anything to normal, or have you?
I mean, I've kind of kept it as I'd vend at any other show. I'm just super excited to display my personal collection. Got a couple of bits for sale. Partnered up with Josiah South Jersey Sports Cards as well. So we'll have a bit of everything on our table. And yeah, just excited to have a bit of variety at the national, which is what I think the International Pavilion's kind of about. So yeah, really excited for it, and really excited to see some great sock collectors and other sports vendors bought in and given the opportunity to vend there.
Yeah, I think it'll do well to close the gap between SoCo last year was insane.
Oh, it was amazing, and like such a great addition to the week. Amazing to see, like our shows are all quite soccer heavy, but American collectors, they've never seen a room full of soccer before. So like to see their eyes light up, see people come around like they were in a dream. So it was amazing to have that kind of same, like almost UK feel show in the States.
Yeah, it was good to see it. I think it made it worthwhile for a lot of people that come over from the UK as well.
Oh, 100%. It was kind of, I explained it myself as like a tipping point, like whether you do or whether you don't. Like I'd been to, I think it was 2 nationals or 3 nationals prior to the SoCo one. And I was kind of on the edge, teetering, like whether I go or not. And it kind of pushed me over. Just so you definitely know, I mean, we'll get onto it later, but all the trade nights at national are amazing. But to almost have that security of knowing that you'll have 3 full trade nights there every single night of dedicated soccer is massive.
Yeah, and it's not like a trade night over here, is it? It is.
Oh no, I mean it's almost, so it is basically its own show, just alongside it. And like it's a great addition to everyone does the national in the day, grabs some dinner in between and heads over to SoCo after, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a proper whirlwind, isn't it?
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, they've got everything from like, they've got 5 sides going. It's crazy. Like the venue's in like It's got like football pitches as part of it. Like it's amazing. It's a really cool setup, and I urge anyone to go if they're on the edge at some point.
Yeah, perfect. I'm sure we'll cover soccer in a little bit, but
Oh, for sure.
to start with, how would you describe the National?
So I would say it is the largest sports card and collectible show on the planet. The scale is not really something you can describe. It's almost like Excel split into like 20 different huge rooms. It's like 20 of those combined. The scale is nuts. There's thousands of vendors, and a huge footprint of all of the kind of businesses and corporate side as part of it. You've got access to on-site grading, which is amazing, and things that like we don't really usually typically have at UK shows. Yeah, I mean the scale is it's almost indescribable, but it's probably one of the best weeks of the hobby calendar, and it's really hard for me to miss one going forwards. I kind of thought I'd do one at the start, that would be my trip, and I wouldn't go back. And I've done my part, but it kind of keeps reeling me back in.
Yeah, well, my first time last year, I think the thing that caught me wasn't just like the size. I think in my head I ramped it to be a little bit bigger, if that was possible. When you actually dive into every table, there's so much on every table, and you 2 hours, 3 hours, and you're just looking through flick throughs or folders, things like that. It's mental. Then you just turn a corner and then it just keeps going as far as the eye can see, and the actual, like I say, the scale is uncomprehensible, really.
Because that Chicago venue, like it's almost in like cubes, and it's like one off your next. So like you think you see it all, but then you've got like an entire next room, and you've got like the breakers pavilions, the corporate side. Like it just sprawls for hours. Like I mean, I don't think I would have walked around it for maybe like 24 hours total in my 3 days, and I don't think I'd seen every card. Like it's unbelievable.
It's mental. Where was your first one, in Chicago, or was it somewhere else?
No, so my first one, I don't remember the year, must have been 2020, 2021, was at Atlantic City.
So it's going right out of lockdown as well then.
Yeah, literally coming out of lockdown, like, or it might have been a year after that. I can't remember exactly the year, but Atlantic City, which was in itself, I heard like a bit more of a kind of negative press about it, just like the area had it a bit more like on the dangerous side and stuff. But honestly, where the venue was, like, it was basically within like a casino almost. So you had all the hotels off it, super safe. You really didn't have to leave the complex. So that was actually one of my more enjoyable ones. And obviously, the first one is always a bit special for whatever venue it was. And then I went into Cleveland and then did Chicago last year, in between Cleveland and the Chicago when I got married. So I got a pass for missing that one. And then, now back to Chicago again. So I'm looking forward to it.
Do you have any sort of memories from that first one? It's like your first walk.
The first one, I think it's probably the one that sticks with me the most. I think your first one always does. I mean, you throw yourself right into the deep end. You book your hotel room, and like I made my mission to try and be up as long as I could. Like there's the initial trade nights in the hotel lobbies of like where you're first meeting and putting faces to Instagram handles, collectors from the US. Like it's like you honestly don't want to sleep. Like it's crazy. Like you're meeting everyone who you've spoken to. You're out for dinners after the show. You're back into like your hotel lobbies for trade nights that go on until as long as you want. Like I was up till 3, 4 a.m. some mornings. Like it was the one that sticks with me the most. I think it's kind of the same where anyone kind of starts, like putting names to like Discord people who you've been in Discords with. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, people you've done deals with and things like that you've known for years, and just nothing.
Like, you almost know what they look like without ever seeing them, but like to then like put the face to the name properly and have a meal, have a drink, have a beer, whatever it is, like priceless.
It's mental. One thing, this might be a little bit oversharing, but like one thing that freaks me out is when you see people on TV and then you see them in person and they start talking to you. When they say like, we have like YouTube on the background in the shop all the time. So we've always like Card Collector 2, Mojo, that sort of thing. And then you walk up to them, you say hi and stuff like that, and then they see your name back and stuff. You're like, this shouldn't be happening. Like, you should be on the screen. For some reason, the first 2 minutes, I always just freeze. It's just,
Yeah, but I mean, the whole thing is like overwhelming in itself, like, especially being your first one, like, you are just taken aback. And I don't think there's anything that I could say or anyone could say that would ever prepare you for seeing that, like, your entrance into the show. Like, the sheer scale of some of the queues, if you've not got early entry, it's just nuts. And like the day before, if you're going to pick up your tickets, like, it is insane the number of people.
it's mental, isn't it?
Yeah, like, it's indescribable, but it's indescribable in the best way.
Yeah, no, it's mental. So yeah, it is. How would you, if you were going for your first time again, walking into that hall, how would you handle that first hour? Because I think that's what sort of, you either spiral from there or you sort of, you plan your week really, don't you?
Yeah, so I always, I mean, obviously, first one I did not do this, but having done 3 or 4 now, I kind of use the first day as an admin day. It's a bit boring, and you may miss a bit of some of the maybe like premium stocks on the table. Obviously, like, you've got first dibs being in there first day, but for me, a big part of it is going and accessing like the on-site grading with PSA and stuff, being able to like drop cards off, pick them up within the same 3-4 days, save all of the shipping and insurance costs. And I mean, obviously, you're going to be set back a little bit more for the grading fee, but for like PC items and stuff that you want that peace of mind for, like beating those queues early on, dropping it off, making like use of the like $100 value level to get it back by end of show was really big for me, and something that I know obviously grading is pretty inaccessible at the minute. PSA shutting down unless you're kind of dropping off regular stuff. So to have that here this year again, I think it's gone up in price again, but just for that peace of mind, I don't think you can really put a price on that. And beating those queues, I'd always advise.
Yeah.
And then also, if you're lucky enough I try and do, like, I know a lot of people have redemptions on their Panini accounts. So I unfortunately missed out this year on the booking slots, but usually I tend to aim for that first day. Because I mean, sometimes you run out of your sport specific black boxes and white boxes for your redemptions and stuff. So I kind of like to use it as a admin day. I've got less of that this year, and obviously I'm vending, so it's a little bit different this time. But yeah, I also found they've got like an interactive map. And this year, obviously, we've got the International Pavilion. So you can almost like beeline to the tables, have kind of first dibs on that stock. I'd probably recommend this year. And yeah, just on, yeah.
Obviously, you can drop pins on it as well, can't you? So you know exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So you can literally mark it all up. It's brilliant. And I know a lot of people kind of look over that, and especially sometimes you might not have the Wi-Fi in the room or whatever. So I always advise taking screenshots, and at least like a rough gauge on where that will be. But it'll be amazing having that International Pavilion, because you'll have 50 guaranteed tables or 50 sets of vendors, probably more tables than that, all in a group, and all of kind of like your typical modern to vintage to any kind of sports that you're looking for, all together in one place, which would be huge for this year. Because I mean, of years past, you can spend days sprawling through, and like in particular for soccer vendors, there's probably 6 or 7 in the room at once, maybe, and then you'll have a sprinkling in the NFL guys' tables or whatever. So it'll be amazing to have that this year, and somewhere that people can just hang out during the show time, have that, like, you have that level of comfort. Come see me, Ben, Lou, all your usual guys you normally see. And it'll be really nice to see everyone hang out in that space for us. So that's really big this year for anyone going. I would love to have that.
Yeah, it's got to be cool to see that the UK and Europe and everyone be represented there. Because I think it's a huge gap closed, I think.
It's massive. I mean, like, we were originally, I mean, like I said, there's probably like 5 or 6 soccer tables. I mean, there was always She Collects Cards, Slab Stocks always had a table there. And so like you'd always congregate around those tables. So now to have almost like an area for everyone to come and hang out and chill for the day, and not have to worry about leaving your stuff with like there's an area for you to come and be, and like it's almost like a safe space. I mean, every space is safe, but like you can come and hang out. You have familiar faces. If it ever gets too overwhelming, like it's just a nice place to come back to, which would be great for any new people coming in.
Yeah, it's a bit like, I know it's at the beginning of that hello mate that I got it, we somewhere in the National, I remember like the first couple of days I bumped in, yeah, I just got that and like, all I'd done all day is like bump, a bit similar to you, sort of bump between everyone I was supposed to go see. Obviously, being a business, we were trying to get meetings in and stuff like that. And just having like hello mate, and I think we did a deal or something like over 5. And I think just that 5 minutes, it just calms you down, doesn't it? Like
Oh, massively. It is so overwhelming, and like it's almost indescribable, but it's great to have like those people you can always go see. I mean, we've always had it, like there's always been a vendor there who we've known or we can go hang out with. I know that Ben and Luke were there last year. Adam Schraman always has a really great stand for soccer. She collects cards as well, Hannah. So there's always been people you can go to, but now to have that dedicated area would be really great for everyone, I think.
It's good. Any nerves about vending?
Oh, I mean, I've tried not to think about it as much as I can, try and treat it as like your run of the mill show. Obviously, it's not. Um, I'm really grateful that I have made friends with Josiah over the last couple of years. We've kind of always done nationals together, always walked around, bought stuff together, sold stuff together. So it's great to kind of share that burden with him almost. But yeah, no, we're super excited for it. Really excited to display collections, buy amazing new pieces together, kind of like have our fire dance together almost, and be able to kind of achieve a bit more together. I think it's definitely taken the load off.
Yeah, but does he just do football as well, or does he branch out into?
He does anything from NBA, NFL, bit of WWE. He's had F1 and prior, so he dibbles and dabbles where he can. So it'll be a really cool display case because there'll be bits of everything for people to go through.
It's interesting because neither you both seem very laid back guys.
We are pretty laid back. We are pretty laid back. It's all. I mean, fortunately, with the International Pavilion and stuff, we've had to be far more organized than we probably both want to be. So we've been filling out various forms and making sure like everything's in order, hotel rooms, sort of display cases, vaults, everything from power at the table, Wi-Fi access. So we've had to be way more prepared. So we're feeling good going into it. Normally it's kind of rock up on the day, dish it all out, but we feel like we've got to represent ourselves well, because it's a one-off like experience for us, like a bucket list hobby moment. So
yeah,
we
rock up full suits, everything for the
day. I mean, honestly, if it was 15, 16 degrees, I probably would. But knowing the Chicago weather, it's sweltering. It's sweltering. I'm just praying for the air conditioning to be working, because there was one year where it wasn't working, and it was yeah, that was one to avoid.
At least we're getting a little bit of prep now at the minute with the heat wave.
I was gonna say, yeah, I've got the shorts, the t-shirts on. I'm prepped. I'm ready.
Mate, I've got aircon at home that I keep bringing up to the shop, and you just find everyone stood in front of it.
Literally everyone's huddling around. Like, I've got one unit in our bedroom, so like I'm just sitting in there, like keeping as cool as I can.
Yeah, funny enough, he's in front of Chris. As you can.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
But everyone's all of a sudden got a question for Chris.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, yeah, there's a queue by Chris's desk.
Yeah, pretty much. So from the vending side, is there anything you're wanting to bring away? Is it just the experience, or you said
massively for the experience? Great working with other vendors who you know, and I just want to make sure we have a great balance and mix of stuff on our cases. So having Josiah on board, myself, my stock, it'll be great. It'll be great to have. There's nothing in particular that kind of going in. I've obviously got like those early sets and cards that I'm always on the lookout for, like the 2014 Prisms, your 2017 Chrome, first year Dynasties, your Club Crest, your on-card autos. Those kind of things will always remain things that I'm looking to buy. But I think I've learned um, from my various nationals, you always go looking for that one card, and sometimes it's not always there. And I think you've got to be able to like pivot. And if there is an opportunity for you to go into something else that may not be that same thing you're looking for, you always got to just make the most of it and take advantage of where and when you can. Like I think my first year, I was just looking for like the end of a couple of Don Russ parallels, like of like an old Havertz rainbow, and obviously they weren't going to be there, but you're told like every card will be there. It's not the case, so it's like making sure you make the most of things. Like I ended up, I think, leaving with like a 71 Biz PSA 4 Messi rookie instead of what I was. So like it's like I think obviously have a rough plan, guide, idea of like budget, cards you're looking for, all of this stuff. But also there's just opportunities too good to pass up. And like you just got to take those.
Yeah, I think it's a bit like, so we're obviously big into NFL, and over here it's a weird market where a lot of the bigger cards don't sell because the market. So like we'll go around and you find cards that are probably like 50 to 60% of the value because the market isn't there, and or they don't quite know what they've got. So a lot of things we'll buy a lot over here for that, and then we'll take it to the national to cash out and bring back. It's a bit similar with football, the opposite way around, isn't it? Like we were finding like people didn't quite know what they had with colour blasts and stuff like that. Like they obviously know the card, but they don't know the player. So do you find that is a thing over there? Is that where there's a lot of gaps, that the sort of the knowledge isn't there, so there's value to be had?
I think there's definitely I agree with that. I think there's always money in the room there. It's a great place to go and cash out. Same with like a Burbank. I put it on a similar level, and it's come at a time where there's all-time highs sales in soccer at the minute with the World Cup and everything. So I think a lot of people will be using it to kind of like cash out more stuff than they buy. Market's really hot right now. It's a really interesting point. It's hard to buy the good stuff. It's probably valued where it should be, maybe a touch higher than it probably should be as well at the same time. So it's tricky to buy, but I think there's always pockets where obviously like I'll give the classic boring example. It's not always the case, but like obviously like you can buy Pulisic here for next to nothing and sell it over there for double. It's just like I think I got like a National Treasures one of one, or actually I think it was Noir one of one here for like 600 quid off Blooms, and then sold it to a guy in the States for double. So it's like obviously there's just going to be different paths of appreciation for different players. Kind of in any market, like you say, like in the UK, there's just not some of the liquidity to take some of the high end NFL stuff. So you can take advantage of that and then sell it into the marketplace where you know that they'll pay stronger. So there's definitely bits and pieces of that to take on for sure.
Yeah, I think we pretty much do that, and then we'll trade it into Pokemon packs and just bring them back.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just knowing your market and where it is, and
Exactly. And I'm sure people listening will have similar thought processes and had thoughts around it already and have kind of identified various niches and know what they're doing.
I imagine I think we've been planning sort of 3-4 months for it, so I imagine everyone else is the same.
Yeah, exactly. And even if you haven't, like you've still got time to think about it. It's like find those, like looking at comps, looking at certain cards in the UK eBay versus US eBay, see if there's any differentials or little gaps that you can spot yourself and try and make the most of it for the national in a couple of weeks' time.
Perfect. Now, just last couple of bits on sort of tips and tricks for the national.
For sure.
Have you got a best time you said that the first day you tend to do as admin. Do you have a best day for negotiations? Do you try push it as late and risk the card? Or do you try and get it?
It's really hard because I don't think there's a better day or a worse day. Obviously, people want to sell things on the last day as they're checking out and don't want to take the cards back and have the cash in their pocket. So that's always a good time to negotiate with people. Obviously, people don't want that stock, but at the end of the day, you're also probably left with some of the stock that's not sold for whatever reasons and might not be the strongest of stock on the last day. But I just think for every person going to the national, there will be that like one unbelievable deal at some point. I don't know when it will be. Like it'll be at a trade night or it'll be at someone's table, or like there's like a soccer card in the midst of a bunch of NFL cards that you spot, like just take advantage of that. Like it, there's always one, and I definitely first year I scooted over a lot of those because I was looking for that one particular parallel of a rainbow, and like I would never just bank on that. I think there's always a deal to be had at some point in the national, and I just always take advantage where you can. I don't think there's one day better than the other. Obviously, first day, everyone's stock is their stock. Maybe people are a bit firmer on prices, but at the same time, like every day I've seen sell a card, the next day the same card sells for $50, $100 more. Like that's just the market we're in. So I remember that vividly. Like last national, Luke offered me a chance to buy, I think it was the Blue Pulsar National Messi 2040. I think they're roughly at 55 or so. I think he offered to me 4 grand. I was haggling him at like 3.8, 3.9. Didn't get a deal done. Sold it for 4K. That car's probably worth 20K now. So like, and even that national, I'm pretty sure the next guy had an offer at 10K or something. So like things move so fast. And there's a lot of money in the room, and sometimes you just got to pull the trigger.
Yeah. It's one thing that shocked me is how, I think compared to over here, how easy it is to sell. We sat down in the VIP room, we stuck the case down, and we had 2 repackers just sat on your shoulder buying at 85, 90%.
Yeah.
And I
People
was
just
like,
fishing out all of that.
yeah. Have you got any tips on negotiating over in the US compared to the UK? Is there any sort of little intricacies you change?
I'd always try and speak in dollar terms. So like my spreadsheet has always got pounds and dollars. So like it's easy for you to go back to. So kind of always knowing what those difference in values are. I think that's really important. Make sure you're not underdoing yourself with the conversions and the currency. It is like there's the most money in the room that there will ever be at a card show. So I think you also got to remember that and be firm with your prices. Because at some point it will sell. Honestly, you obviously don't be ridiculous with it and be way over comps or anything like that. But like there's always a repack in the room that will take it at 90%, for instance. So like if there's anything under that, then maybe you can kind of have more of a think about it and try and find that collector that you might be able to get 100% for, even more. And like with the World Cup and everything at the minute, like prices are fluctuating like crazy. Like I was saying, like one day it can sell for one thing and the next the other. So yeah.
When you say like the Messi we were just talking about,
Yeah.
and it from 4 to 10K,
Yeah.
how do you go about that without, because obviously you're pricing it way over 200% over comps.
Yeah.
How do you just, would you sit and wait for the offer to come in? Would you go fish it out? And
Yeah, so I mean, I'd probably something like that would be something I'd probably look to try and hold. But like, if an offer came in, like it would be in my display case, and I'd probably, I think with that there wasn't like a sale for like a couple of years, so it was a bit of a ballpark one. You kind of work out, okay, market's well up from there. Let's offer double that comp or whatever it was to try and get the deal done. Um, and sometimes there's not comp, and sometimes you just got to go like you got to just get out there, get uncomfortable, and believe in the card, believe in the set, and it's yeah,
would that be, that's through like experience and knowing the market again?
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, no, it's interesting because like as a shop we don't handle that sort of. We're in Yorkshire, so we don't deal with that size thing. So like, it's always interesting to see how people. Because if you do that with a £50 card and I put it in the shop at 120, people are going to come in and go, it's well over, that sort of thing. So it's always interesting on how you deal with the finer things, because that sort of gap is huge, isn't it?
Oh, it's a massive gap. And I think that's why it's important to have your fundamentals in those sets that really mean something. People are always going to want to pay premiums for 14 prisms, 17 chrome. They're firsts of things. People like, there's rarity and reference to those cards, and there will always be people collecting those sets because they are the first, and that's
There's a
kind
bit
of
history and meaning behind them.
there is. And like if you stick to those principles, like the market kind of ends up following. Like you see it now. Like when I joined, you could buy in 2018, you could buy a flawless Souls of the Game Messi for 5-6K. That card is now like over 100 grand easily. And it's like the principles of that flawless set. Like you can see it from those 2016 sales to now what collectors really value. And it's the same with like 2014, like 2014 silver prism Messis you could buy for $10. They're now like in a 10, they're like 6, 7, 8 grand. So it's like there's always going to be a bit of opportunity, and there's also the other side of it as well. Like you don't want to be caught and then there's a bubble and it all bursts. So like with things like that, I think if you're really committed and understanding of the sets and you really believe in the card, then I think there's no reason why you shouldn't almost overpay for it at the time, because someone will have the similar opinions and viewpoints to you at some point in time that made that card as valuable as you believe it to be.
I think in the US as well, you're more likely to find that person that believes the same thing.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So moving on to Soko.
Yeah.
Now, was it last year was the first time they properly did it?
Yeah, last year was the first year of doing it. Was there anything in particular, or?
Oh no! How was it to start with?
How was it? Oh, like again, I thought that was the closest I'd ever get to vending at the National. Like you're vending alongside the show. You set up there at 4, 5 o'clock, just as the show ends over there, and people kind of start. I mean, people are trickling in through the day, and 6, 7 o'clock, I'd say. People get a bit of food in between. Even, I mean, there's food there as well. But it was amazing. Like I said, like to see some of the guys from the States like have a room full of soccer for the first time, and some of the cards on display was just unbelievable. Seeing people's collections, seeing people's handles. I remember seeing George's collection, Top City Collectibles in Australia. His showcase was unbelievable. Like things that you don't think even existed. So it was a really, really cool experience to see. Like I think it was around 100 vendors. So it was very soccer specific, and I would definitely recommend anyone going to the National to do Shoko in the evenings. It's an awesome experience.
Oh, definitely. I think even Kay came with us, my missus, last year.
Yeah.
And she's not really. She loves Disney, Pokemon.
Yeah.
But even when she was in there, she was in, and every vendor had a real passion for it.
Oh, 100%.
It was like everyone was what he's taught. They were teaching her everything, going through it all. And it wasn't just a matter of like sort of little chatting off. They were sort of showing everything. You could do a passing your cards that were worth 6 figures.
Yeah.
For your 6 figures and going, oh, have a look through this, have a look at that.
Yeah.
And I think
it felt like a really community driven event. And I know that Scott and Motor City Cars as well, they worked really hard on it and tried to build that kind of space for soccer alongside the National.
Will that have been the first time they've been sort of that community together in one place?
Yeah, definitely. I think inside the series, I mean, obviously there's been like trade nights and stuff off the bat. There's always kind of soccer specific, or we try and make soccer specific trade nights outside in hotel lobbies and stuff with the National. And in years gone prior, I think that's kind of where the idea spawned from. There's always kind of this core group of 30, 40, 50 collectors that were there, and you'd always see new faces, and it kind of grew from there. I think that's kind of where they came from. And obviously kind of I think a lot of people had started to question whether the National was worth doing. I think for anyone going for the first time, you're obviously shocked by the size and everything. But if you actually look into it, I'd say there's probably between like 60 and 75% of the hall was traditionally vintage baseball or company spaces. So what you were actually looking for was actually quite hard to find, which is why I think people, and even me included, that year I did SoCo, I wasn't going to go until the show popped up. Even though those trade nights and that we do often were amazing fun, there was just always that doubt: is there enough soccer? Should I go? And that's why I think the introduction of the International Pavilion at the show is so amazing, because people can have soccer for 24 hours of the day. Like it will be there all day at the National, and then you can go straight into SoCo as well. So it's just, yeah, it's a really, really great place to be for football collectors and just sports collectors in general. You know, you're going to have amazing tables at National and SoCo.
Else going on at SoCo as well. I know you mentioned side FIFA games as well.
Yeah, so I think they had. I remember there was 5-side tournaments there last year. There was penalty shootout. I think I remember Jamie Salt was doing a deal. I think it was for his 2014 green cracked ice Messi, I think it was, and he and another collector made a deal. And instead of a coin flip, they did, if Jamie saved the penalty, he'd save X. And if the guy scored a penalty, he'd save Y. And Jamie, funnily enough, saved it and ended up making a bit more money out of it. But just fun bits like that as well. Like just fun memories that you see and see these massive deals taking place it's just a cool place to be.
Yeah, I can imagine Jamie's probably like secretly a professional goalkeeper behind it and just.
Do you know what's hilarious? I know Jamie. He was a goalkeeper, so it's like, and I think I took a couple of practice shots at it beforehand. So it's like I knew the goals weren't massive. Obviously, they're being 5-a-side. So yeah, he made a great save. To be fair to him, and saved and made himself a bit more money. So Jamie was thrilled.
Last couple of bits. Any favourite stories from the National?
Oh God.
You've always stories lined up.
Yeah, I mean that Jamie one was great from last one at SoCo. That one sticks with me. I always love doing the like Dave and Adams kind of do they always run like almost like a redemption you end up buying boxes and stuff and you redeem them towards other packs and stuff, and buying those national specific packs over the years has been great fun. I remember I think Ben pulled a Musiala Superfractor from Bundesliga Chrome. No one was even opening the Bundesliga Chrome. We were like throwing it away to get to the other stuff, but Ben ended up opening it and pulling that, so like that was just funny. I've seen some of the white box and black box one-on-ones. I saw a Messi 2018 Eminence come out one of those. Just I think like the main thing I think I've really enjoyed over the last couple of them is kind of hanging out with those US collectors, doing a dinner every night or like one of the nights at least, and having that time, like spending time with your friends you've kind of built up for. I mean, prior to my first one, I've been speaking to some of these guys for 2-3 years, and now it's almost like an annual thing, obviously with the National. So definitely make the time and take and do experiences within those host cities as well. Like that's one thing that I would always recommend to people. You can get so bogged down in the National itself, but you are also there to experience the culture of the cities that they're in. So like try get to a baseball game, or I remember last year in Chicago they had like the Premier League friendlies. I think United were in town. Like try and go to one of those stadiums, or I like doing cultural experiences within the cities. I think is like Chicago's got an amazing food scene as well. So yeah, try and give yourself at least a couple of hours to go and explore a bit of Chicago at the same time. Spend that time with collectors, go out for those dinners, and yeah, just experience the city outside of the National as well.
Yeah. So I think the Yankees are in town, aren't they?
They are. I think I saw that.
Yeah, I think we're heading over Tuesday for that. And then obviously Soldier Field as well.
Exactly, which is like the home of baseball almost. So sorry,
Soldier Field is the NFL one, but
NFL. Sorry, yeah.
They've just announced.
But I had in my mind Chris invited me to the game on Tuesday, so I had baseball in my head. So I'm looking forward to going to that game. But yeah, I mean, Chicago is an amazing city, and there's a real reason why they have the majority of the Nationals there now. It's just all set up so well. You've got all the hotels there, the food, the restaurants are great. And I'd definitely try and get to Gibson's if you can one night. I mean, I'm sure the reservations are probably backing up now, but even if you try and do a lunch or something,
yeah,
some of the best steak you'll ever have. So I would definitely recommend that.
Give that a try. Yeah, we Soldier Field, they're moving stadiums. I think it's one of the oldest ones in the NFL.
Yeah. It's just they're building that brand new complex, aren't they?
So yeah, it'll be cool. I think we're going on there. There's some Pokemon museum thing going on, so we were
Nice.
But yeah, is there anywhere you watch to keep up to date with what's going on? So like, there's so many trade nights and things like that. They're like,
Yeah, I mean, I think the great thing is I try and keep it as fluid as possible. I obviously vending in the days made it completely different for me. Normally, obviously, you got 24 hours, but I've kind of got now like 12 hours to spend separately. So I think that Tuesday night game, watching the baseball, will be really fun and a time for me to kind of get out of that whole national bubble, which will be great. Try got some dinners planned. I think if you can reach out to your American friends or other international collectors you don't normally get the time with, plan a meal, plan like a trade night, kind of find someone to go with to all of these events. I mean, we're really lucky now we have SoCo. It's just like a really easy place to go afterwards. There's always an F1 trade night. I know Card Collector 2 does his massive trade night within the convention center after one of the days. So there's always stuff going on. And then also you've got the hotel lobby trade nights, just like unofficial ones that kind of just spawn. So like once you've had enough of SoCo, head back to your hotel. There's always something going on.
yeah, you keep the snowball as well. That you go out with your US friends, and they've always got a few friends with them, and then
Yeah, exactly. And then you'll meet new people, new collectors, seeing new stuff. You end up being in a bit of a gang and head out to wherever the rest of the night takes you. I don't think many people have like a regimented structure for the national. It's very much go feel the flow, like, and work out kind of where you want to be, what you will prioritize.
it's amazing where you get invited as well, isn't it? I think.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Like people are so generous, so kind, and like I feel like everyone's there as collectors and just try and make the most of the event. Like it doesn't happen often. You got a year in between each one. If you don't do obviously like your Dallases and stuff like that, but it's a really great place to be.
It's meant last year we were sat with we work a bit with Jesse from Sports Card Nonsense.
Oh yeah.
So we were sat with him, and he came in and he got told, 20 minutes, you got to be down here.
Yeah.
Just come with us. And he was like, all right, just followed along just on a whim. And it's when they had Tom Brady at the Fanatics thing, and he was interviewing him.
No way.
Right next to him when he was doing that, it was the coolest thing.
That's mad.
Yeah. Well,
Just totally out of the blue. Like never had to do that for you guys or anything like that.
no, you're just like, yeah, come with us. And like, we just talked with the rest of the SCN group.
That's
and
mad.
Just a little fist bump from Tom Brady, and I'm like,
Oh, life's made. Not washing my hand for a year.
yeah. The funny thing, I told Chris, and like, Chris doesn't get bothered by many people.
Yeah.
You're a bit like, yeah, he's Brady in there. He's a Giants fan, so he wasn't really bothered.
Okay, fine.
Then the other week we met that Gardner YouTube fellow, Matt.
Yeah.
It's like I met his idol, mate. Like having a jealous.
That doesn't surprise me though. That doesn't surprise me about Chris at all. It's always the roguish stuff with him. Like,
You're like a jealous. Like we were messaging about going and opening some boxes in the garden and stuff.
yeah.
Sat there watching like a jealous girlfriend. Like, your mate's replied again, and I'm like, really? Maybe, yeah. But that's cool. But yeah, thanks for coming on.
Anytime.
Last couple of bits. Any cards that we should come and see you for? Anything that you really want to show off for your table?
I am going to be displaying my personal collection there, which I'm really excited to do. I haven't been as active on Instagram over the last year. Kind of been chasing some really key pieces of my Cole Palmer PC. So I will have that on show. So Club Press. I'll have a couple of other bits that I haven't shared. So I'm really looking forward to displaying it all. And yeah, just super excited to be part of that International Pavilion. And big thanks to Luke again for being able to sort it out for all of us international collectors.
No, it's cool. He's going to be really good to see him. We'll make sure he'll come over and
For sure do.
Yeah, you struggle to keep Chris away, I think, but
I was going to say he's a magnet to me at the minute.
Oh, he is. Anything shiny as well. So having bigger cards, will just be there more. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, thanks for jumping on there, and we'll have to catch up after, but we'll see you at the National.
Perfect. Thank you.